I like Talk 107.3, man. Let me see if this goes live here. Share this on. Yeah, what's up, Facebook? How's it going? It's okay. It's all good. So Facebook, we are waiting for the lovely, the talented Sara Kleinpeter to come into the studio. She's on her way. She's going to be up in a second. Dreary Friday. A little rain. I mean, I'm wearing a ridiculously bright, is it pink or red? I don't know. Pink? Pink. That's a. Hey, Sara.
I can't get in the building.
You press the buzzer.
I buzzed it.
All right, they're going to come let you in, Sara. Sara, you're on Facebook Live right now. All right, so Sara Kleinpeter is trying to get into the building right now. So she's now walking. She's now walking in. The illustrious Sara. We're on Facebook Live. So, yeah, come on in, Sara.
Wait, you're live already on Facebook?
Well, we start early, so, it's okay. So this is Sara Kleinpeter, guys.
Hey, everyone, where am I looking?
That camera right there. You're going to sit in that chair if you want to. We're going to move this over.
Hold on, I was going to
Is that yours or
be
mine?
official. No, it's mine.
So you didn't bring me one? Actually?
No, I can't find the other cup.
See, I couldn't find my cup either. It's all
I can
right.
only find one cup. I think the other one's at my house.
I tried to get coffee this morning from the downstairs Guaranteed Broadcasting building. There's no coffee mugs or cups. None. Zero. Like, coffee cups are there. Yeah, I see the Jada Cody glasses and whatnot behind me or behind you. I wouldn't. Those look like they've been used. So.
No, I mean.
And I like to drink out of Jay's face. So, his coffee mug, not his literal face. You have to scoot over a little bit, Sara.
Oh, okay.
So this is the view, by the way.
All right.
So by the way, when I posted that Sara was going to be on the show, like, we got a lot of comments, a lot of emails. Like, her priest is like going to heckle her.
I know.
She's
priest is
kind
like, are we
of-
gonna call him because we can.
He,
But nah.
I think Father Mike,
Padre Hooch.
could theoretically just jump on Facebook Live. You could text. I mean, I assume you have his Facebook.
I don't know anything.
So this is
I confirm nor deny everything.
So after this today, I gotta go across the street with my son to WAFB to do some legal commentary, and then Fish and I are invited to a rain parade, as well as the reopening of Knock Knock.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about Knock Knock.
It's VIP, so Fisher.
Excuse me, Fisher.
I didn't
Fisher's
get
VIP already.
Nobody cares if I'm there. It's all about the fish, man. So Fisher, this is the second week in a row I asked Fisher if he wants to be on the radio, and he's like, "No, I'm good."
I know,
Maybe he's not like his father. Maybe he doesn't crave constant affirmation and attention.
One could only hope.
I mean, maybe he's got his mother's genes in him. So, anyways, how's life?
Life's crazy as always. How about you?
I'm wearing pink today.
I love it. I love it.
So you gotta,
Oh, sorry.
you gotta. That's your mic. This is your mic. You own this.
I'm gonna own it. Okay.
So we really don't know. Well, thank you. We really don't know what Sarah's going to talk about today. We're just going to kind of wing it. It's going to kind of be ad-libbed a little bit.
I thought I was interviewing you.
You are interviewing me. So she is technically interviewing me, Taylor. So we can start whenever you'd like, Taylor. Can you turn off the other?
Wait, should I have my phone just in case the Padre calls?
You do need to have your phone.
Hold on. Do I,
There's going to be an intro.
Father Michael, if you are, oh, I'm sorry.
There's going to be an intro.
Okay.
And then I'll do a 2-minute intro. And then you can go and tell Father Hooch.
Hooch, if you're watching, let me know. That's the only way you're
There's only
on.
3 people watching right now, and I think I'm one of them. So it increases. It's it's
Do I need to go
deceptive.
share it?
You do need to share it.
Oh, goodness.
And tag the Geaux Rouge show or tag Geaux Rouge. Oh, I got a weighted blanket yesterday.
Oh, they're on sale right now on Amazon.
I got delivered from Amazon. Have you ever used a weighted blanket?
Yeah, my brother has one.
Dude, it's like I wanted to be held without being held. And I wrapped myself in the chrysalis of this weighted blanket. And it was like, it breathes well. It's weighted, so it's heavy, but it's not like, you don't feel like, it's hard to explain, Taylor. I'm sorry.
You ready?
Yep. So here's an intro song. And then I'll do a 2-minute intro, and then we'll go from there.
I'm trying to find the live video. Oh, here it is.
It's on Talk 107.3, but it's also there.
This is the Geaux Rouge Show, where host Ron Borghardt celebrates businesses and people who are making Baton Rouge a better place.
Turn your volume down.
From culture to business,
I'll edit it.
Geaux Rouge connects you to what and who is happening. Now, here's your host, Ron Borghardt.
Set it for all the way through. I'll edit it. He didn't give me the intro out of here, so we're gonna do it out of here.
It's a fun intro.
Welcome to the Geaux Rouge Radio Show. This is your host, Franz Borkhardt. If you're listening on Talk 107.3 or on Facebook Live, welcome to the party. We've got Taylor and Brian Haldane splitting duties on Master Control today. Our guest this week, Taylor, is the illustrious Sara Kleinpeter. Sara is just somewhat. You ever meet people? It's kind of a Hester effect where it's like they're nice people and everyone likes them.
She's that.
Sara is like the Jacob Hester of that world. And wait, are you in junior league?
I am not in junior league.
Oh.
It's like the only thing I'm not in.
She's not a member of the league.
I support the league 100%. I think that the league is absolutely fantastic, but I am not a member of junior league.
Well, we're going to get to what you are a member of.
Oh, everything else.
So Sara is one of my good friends, folks. And if you're listening on Facebook Live, feel free. We're just having an informal Rainy Friday episode of the Geaux Rouge Show. Before we jump into Sara, though, let's thank our show sponsors. These are the businesses and the men and women that make the Geaux Rouge Show possible. We have Sullivan's Steakhouse, your neighborhood steak restaurant. Sullivan's, we're going to be starting our Tuesday, Knockout Tuesdays again. We gave it a break for the rain and flooding that happened a couple weeks back. But we're going to be doing that, live feeds from Sullivan's, happy hour specials, knockout cocktails, definitely something you need to check out. La Divina Italian Cafe, open every day with their custom made-from-scratch breakfasts. I had breakfast today at La Divina with my son. He had some eggs and some Italian bacon. It was delish. Smelled great. I didn't get to eat any of it. I had
The
to watch.
gelato there is so good.
Right?
Oh, so
Right? Gelato? Are you a gelato fan, Taylor? No?
I don't even know if I've had it.
It's ice cream. It's a fancy Italian ice cream. It's different than normal
Yeah,
ice
okay,
cream,
I've
but
probably had
it, yeah. So we also have Dr. Gunja Rina from MDVIP at Heal 360. If you're wondering, how is it that I've lost all the weight? How is it that I've been kicking Brian Haldane's tail in the Fat Boy 50 competition? Well, it's very simple. I have help. I visit Dr. Gunja Rina on a monthly basis. She directs my nutrition. She does my blood work. She's a general practitioner, but it's also concierge medical services. So she also talks to my other providers. And then last but not least, the finest criminal defense firm in the universe, the Borkhardt Law Firm. That is my lemonade stand. That is my day job. That is how I make a living. That is how I'm able, Taylor, to do radio, the Borkhardt Law Firm. In fact, Sara, after I get done making the radio today, making the radio like I'm making bread or something, after I'm done with the radio today, I'm actually going to be going across the street from the Talk 107.3 studio and doing some legal commentary on WAFB. So, like, I am a lawyer. I lawyer when I'm not doing the Geaux Rouge radio show. So before we jump off to Sara, if you want more information on the Geaux Rouge radio show, if you see Sara and you're like, man, I need more of this. This is the flavor of gelato I need. Go to www.gauxrouge.com. You can email us with show topic ideas at info@gauxrouge.com. Or you can go to our YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel.
That
Like
is
a
so
YouTube
cool.
channel,
I have
right?
a YouTube channel.
Of course you have a YouTube
I have
channel.
one video on it.
What kind of video is it on there?
I think it was like a fundraiser for Graham's school, and
Okay.
I had to email it to people.
Well, we're going to talk about you and your fundraising
Oh,
because
goodness.
you raise some money for different charitable organizations, whether it's St. Thomas More. I actually met Sara Kleinpeter not from Leadership Baton Rouge. It was you were raising money at a charity event. I believe it was at the Baton Rouge Gallery.
Yep.
What is the name of that charity?
So that is Anna's Grace Foundation.
Anna's Grace Foundation, which is
So the Anna's Grace Foundation is a 501c3 foundation that our beloved Anna passed away at stillborn at 28 weeks, I believe.
Okay.
And the founders, Monica and Todd Alley, realized the financial costs that belongs with someone who's lost a child at stillborn anytime after 21 weeks. And so the Anna's Grace Foundation helps families in the Baton Rouge area who suffer child loss
Awesome.
to pay for those burials.
so great charitable organization.
Absolutely.
We have several friends, mutual friends, that are a part of that, and it's certainly awesome to help support the women that are and families that are going through that. So, kicking things off, we got Sara Kleinpeter. Sara, I met Sara through the Anna's Grace charity event, but really where I got to know Sara, where I got like a double scoop of the Sara Kleinpeter gelato, is from a Baton Rouge area chamber program called Leadership Baton Rouge. We are from one of the finest classes,
Better than all the rest.
2019, right?
Better, yeah.
2019.
2018.
I'm sorry. Will you post it on your bio? It says 2019.
Oh,
So I'm running with you. I figure
No,
you're more accurate.
Leadership Louisiana was 2019. We're the class of 2018.
I'm
for
sorry. We're
Leadership Baton
2018.
Rouge.
You do so many different leadership programs. And then I ran into you. Scott McKnight, by the way, says howdy.
Hey, Scott.
So yeah, this is going to be how the episode runs. Is
I-
a whole bunch of people like you. Like I have not. It's like the Jacob Hester effect. Nobody I've ever met is like, man, I don't like that Kleinpeter chick. I mean, I'm sure there are people.
There are people. I
Yeah, I'm
promise.
sure
I
there
promise
are.
There are.
So you work in education,
Yes,
right?
higher education.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit about what your role is and who you work with.
So I work for the Louisiana Community and Technical College System. That is a mouthful, and
Yes.
we go by LCTCS, which is also a mouthful. I am the coordinator of board services there, so I manage our 3 professional boards of supervisors, and I do other duties as assigned, including some of our special events and some of our fundraising efforts.
So you're kind of an event person.
I enjoy events. Like if I could
I mean,
do-
I was going to
Yeah.
say, from everything I know about you, event coordination, event planning is kind of your forte.
It is, and I do it for free all the time. One day I'm going to get paid to do it.
So you also do some volunteer work.
I do.
With St. Thomas More, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what is your role at St. Thomas More? Do you have kids that go there, or
So right now I have going to be 7th grader.
Good for you.
Graham. I am officially not on anything at St. Thomas More, like as we speak today. But it is.
were you were
still-
previously, or
Oh yes. But it is.
were you
still-
that mom?
No, because I was that parishioner, right?
Okay.
So like I was involved in our festival, which we haven't had in 2 years, but it is coming back strong next year. I cannot wait for our festival. I helped with the communications for that, and then I co-chaired with Mary Catherine Jackson. Do you know Mary Catherine
I
Jackson?
know
She
Mary
married
Cath-
Stephen.
Yep.
Anyway, so Mary Catherine and I co-chaired the auction, which we've held virtually and in person. So in 2021, it'll be in August. We're gonna have it back live and in person, and we handed over the reins to a new chairman because we chaired it for like 3 years.
So, and it's very important. I want this on the record on the radio
What is it?
that you, in fact, to my surprise, because I asked you before we went live, we were on Facebook Live. You're not a member of the league.
I'm not a member
You
of
support
the
the
league.
league,
Oh, 100%.
the Junior League of Baton
Yes.
Rouge. Every episode, Taylor, as you know, we talk about the Junior League of
You
Baton
have
Rouge.
to talk about the junior league because the league is everywhere you look, and even if you're not a member, it benefits you in so many ways. And I have met the most fabulous women as part that are leaders in the league, that are members in the league, and I adore that group. But I'm not in the league because I'm still heavily involved in my sorority, and I'm an advisor for my
DZ,
sorority,
right?
Delta Zeta, yes. And so it is very difficult to spread myself as many times as I can.
So, what do you do with your sorority?
So I am the philanthropy advisor,
Okay.
and I also serve on our house corporation for Delta Zeta.
Okay. So I dabble
Yeah.
in Greek affairs.
What don't you dabble in?
Well, I represent some men and women that sometimes get in trouble at universities, either academically, either criminally, or with Title IX violations. Occasionally represent Title IX victims or survivors. That's the term.
Survivors, yeah.
It's all, and here's the thing is, so in the criminal justice arena, I'm using criminal justice terminology, not out of disrespect for so the criminal justice world, we call someone who's the accuser the victim.
Correct.
Right. Now, in the outside of the justice world, we call that person the survivor if it's sexual assault or domestic violence. So anyways, I get asked to go to fraternities on occasion and scare the bejesus out of them. I was going to say something else, Taylor, but it's radio, so I can't. To scare the bejesus out of them about hazing and sexual assault.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, Taylor's smiling. Let me tell you.
Taylor, were you in a fraternity?
Yeah, I was, but I went to Southeastern, not at LSU. But yeah,
Do you think that Southeastern fraternity experience was significantly different than the LSU fraternity experience?
Has to be.
Yeah, you think?
Not necessarily. I mean, people are people, right?
We're right.
Whether
right.
the experience is at a
Well, you've hung out with other DZs before, right?
well, yeah,
Like from other Louisiana schools?
correct.
So are they like the LSU DZs?
I mean, stop. But that's
a no.
That's a no.
But
I mean,
they have their own.
you have your own
university
university
and culture,
identity,
yeah.
right? But I mean, being Greek at Southeastern and being Greek at LSU still poses the same challenges from
Yeah.
a legal standpoint, I would say.
Yes. So
What's Scott saying?
Scott is talking about the LCTCS.
Thank you, Scott, for supporting Senate Bill 148,
What is the LCTCS?
the Louisiana Community and Technical College System.
And what does this bill do?
So the bill is the MJ Foster Promise Program, and it helps to support and fund higher education in high trade, high wage jobs for adults that are over the age of 21 and no longer TOPS Tech or TOPS eligible.
Okay.
And it will become effective
So-
in 2022.
So let's assume that Taylor and I don't have a background in higher education. Can you translate that into Franz dummy? Because
Yeah, so-
what does that really do for the student?
So our average age of students in the Louisiana Community Technical College System, in the community college system in Louisiana, is about 29.
A little older.
Is a little bit older, right? So many of our students don't enter a technical program or an associate degree program until after they've gone through whatever challenges or whatever life brings them. And so they are no longer eligible for those financial scholarships through the
Assistance,
state,
aid.
financial assistance, financial aid. We also have a large number of our population that is low wage, and so they wouldn't be able to afford college on their own, even at 29 or 30 or 45. And so if they've never accessed their TOPS benefits at that older age, and they have applied to the federal government and received financial assistance through the federal government, if it does not cover their tuition cost, then we will have this backup program, the MJ Foster Promise Program, to help pay for their college experience.
Has this bill passed?
It
or-
did pass.
Okay.
It is, I think, in conference committee.
Okay.
And we hope that it will be signed by the governor very soon.
Awesome.
And
Congratulations.
it's named the MJ Foster Promise Program. If you don't know, Governor Mike Foster, who recently passed away, was the architect for building the Louisiana Community and Technical College System.
So
And
the Louisiana Community College Technical
LCTCS, yeah.
Yes, the LCTCS. That's an acronym. It rolls right off the tongue.
Right off.
It's kind of a big deal.
I mean, it is.
Yeah, I don't think
It's-
people realize how extensive the network is, right?
Yeah, so we have 12 colleges across the state of Louisiana. I think we have 63 campuses, possibly. And I could be off on the campus number, but we offer high wage, high demand job training. We offer associate degrees. We offer programs for students who may come out of high school but not know what they want to do, career training, career testing. If you are in high school in Louisiana, specifically here in Baton Rouge, because it's the Geaux Rouge show, and you don't know that LSU or Southeastern or Tulane or one of these four-year colleges is what you want, then take a look at BRCC or take a look at River Parishes Community College or Delgado, Sowella. I mean, we're there to support those students who may not be ready to go into a four-year
So I know this
university.
is going to come as a shock to you too.
What?
I was an adjunct at BRCC right out of law school. I taught business law and paralegal studies. And I've also taught. I'm also an adjunct at the Paul M. Hebert LSU Law Center. However, I will tell you, in terms of what do I enjoy teaching more, I enjoy teaching community college students because I will say that those are students that are motivated. They want to be there. They played with me in terms of I did, as you might imagine, I was a phenomenally good teacher.
The best.
Yeah, I know, right? Business law is fun, man. I can get into the weeds of like how to like do stuff. I mean, I didn't tell them how to launder money or anything. I didn't tell them how to like break the law. I would never tell anyone how to willfully break the law. But what I did do is I gave them real practical experience, and it was a lot of fun. I did that for several semesters, and then I taught some paralegals over at BRCC. So yes, Taylor, adjunct professor. You don't have to call me Professor Borkart.
I wasn't planning
Professor Franz.
I wasn't planning on doing that anyways.
So it's interesting that Scott McKnight. Scott's in the Senate, right?
No, he's a state rep.
He's a state rep. I thought Scott was a senator. Well, you know what? I need to talk to Scott because there's a horrible bill about interlock devices and DWIs. Not that you have to get into it.
I don't know that one.
You don't have to. I will, Scott. You and I will talk because oh god, it makes me want to. Anyways, so back to Sara Kleinpeter. So by the way, you're a Kleinpeter, right?
I'm a Kleinpeter by marriage. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I was married, but anyway, my maiden name is Landreneau.
Which do you like going by? I call you Kleinpeter.
You call me Kleinpeter because you met me as a Kleinpeter,
right?
And I still am legally a Kleinpeter.
And Kleinpeter's one of those names like George Jetson, like Jetson, where you can call someone Kleinpeter.
Yeah.
And it's a good. So okay, so you're by marriage.
Scott.
Yeah.
Feisty today.
I know, right. So he is like Scott's making several comments. Like he's not quite trolling the Facebook yet. So like. When it's like a comment every couple of seconds, it's trolling, but he's just making good.
I like it.
Yeah. So anyways, Kleinpeter by marriage.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the farm? The Kleinpeter farm?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
I haven't either.
I don't even drink milk.
Are you like intolerant or?
I just don't like the taste of it.
So I don't drink milk anymore. My son, who's around the corner from the station, drinks copious amounts of milk and then like crack cocaine. I'm not comparing chocolate milk to crack cocaine.
You can though.
But like crack cocaine, he does bumps of chocolate milk.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, right? So now I do almond milk and I do oat milk, which is not...
Just not...
So you just don't do milk?
I don't do milk. Mm-mm.
All right. So what do you drink? Like water?
Coffee and water.
Right.
Bourbon and beer.
So you're a bourbon beer? Okay.
Yeah.
You don't meet a lot of women who are into bourbon and beer. Well, beer, South Louisiana, beer, yes. Bourbon, I don't know that it's a DZ thing.
How can you classify that as a DZ
I don't know. I just
thing?
went that's where my brain went to. That's what. Do you? Okay, I have to ask.
Do you know who got me drinking bourbon?
Melissa Thompson.
No, but she is fabulous. Dave Baxter is.
Dave Baxter's a bourbon drinker. So
yeah.
So I will say. Hold on a second.
How do you not get distracted? I've never been in your studio
People just
before,
walking around in the studio like people are not recording radios. They're just loud.
And I'm like, what is going on here?
Inconsiderate. It's okay. Taylor, you mind closing that door? So anyways, squirrel! So I don't get distracted at all.
At all.
So changing gears from women who drink bourbon.
Okay.
So, all right. So I have noted, because I've done one leadership program with you.
Yes.
You've done the Louisiana leadership program.
Correct.
So that's a lot of leadership. Talk to me about the Louisiana program.
Okay, so I'll tell you about the Louisiana program, but I just finished Changemakers too.
You and I are both changemakers.
I know. We are changemakers.
For New Schools for Baton Rouge, right?
Yes.
All right.
But now Alliance for Better Education, the Baton Rouge Alliance for Education.
Yeah, it's a different foundation. And
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, okay, well, we'll talk about changemakers. Chris will be very happy that I'm talking.
Scott got quiet.
Yeah, well, that's because I called Scott out.
So Leadership Louisiana is sponsored by CABLE, which is the Council for a Better Louisiana, similar to a BRAC program. It's a statewide program that we traveled around the state for about 10 months, and we met with different industry leaders and different economic drivers in the various areas of Louisiana. So one of my most memorable trips was when we went to Monroe. At the time, we had in our class the now sitting mayor of Monroe. So he took us, Friday Ellis.
Well, I've smoked cigars with Friday.
Because his cigar shop is fabulous. So Governor's Cigar Shop.
He used to own a cigar shop in Monroe. He also smokes occasionally in Baton Rouge when he's at the legislature doing stuff.
Yep.
So long story made short, this dude is cool. He ran for mayor, and by the way, like, I don't want to say he's a dark horse because I mean he won.
He was the dark
Yeah,
horse, but
no-
he won handedly. And
Yes.
look, politicos were like, "Wait, what?
Right.
How'd he
Stop
beat?
voter.
How'd he beat that?" Yeah, but Friday is fantastic. His wife Ashley and he are like a power couple in Monroe. But we went to Monroe for Leadership Louisiana, and we went to. I think we were in Shreveport Bossier, and we went to Lake Charles. We went, all around.
So Robert Weiss, was he in Leadership Louisiana as well? Mm-hmm. Because he's been a guest. on
Rob
the show.
Weiss, yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He speaks well of you too.
Oh, he and
Your,
I were.
your
he and I
boss
were-
has been on my show too.
Monty's been on your show.
I think so. Well, I thought your boss was. It's not Jim. It's Monty.
Monty's my boss. Jim is a former colleague
Okay.
who is doing great things at the University of Louisiana
I
system. Yep.
Okay. Okay. I got you. So yes, Robert Weiss speaks very well of you.
He's great.
Yes. So okay. So then you did Changemakers.
I did.
So
We did it all virtual Changemakers,
So what's-
right?
what's
Welcome
left-
to 2020.
What's left for you leadership wise? When are you running for office, man?
Oh, the one thing I learned very long time ago
Don't
when I
wanna
was
run for office?
in the fourth floor of the Capitol was don't want to run for office ever.
I think the real power, and Taylor, you produce where Brian Haldane talks to politicians. I think the real power is the people behind the politicians. Dare I use the phrase puppet masters? No,
We're
no.
not puppet masters. We make sure our elected officials do their job well and look good while they're doing it.
The way your brain works when you're planning an event, I can only imagine what you're like when you're helping a political official, because I can watch the hamster run like the Flash from DC Comics
Yep.
on your wheel. So okay, so you're not going to run for office ever?
No.
Okay.
Next up for me, and I was
That's what I was really getting
okay.
at.
So next up for me, I was on the phone with the professor, and I actually slipped an F-bomb to my graduate professor. I was like, I'm late. Anyway,
Kleinpeter.
I know. So I have applied to and am waiting acceptance to the LSU College of Ag PhD program.
Okay, tell me more.
So it is a leadership PhD in ag and extension leadership.
What? Okay, so
And-
tell me about the the leadership program part. I understand completely.
Okay.
The ag, is it like how to lead cows? Like
No.
like
So,
ducks
okay.
and chicks?
So you city folk, and I love Baton Rouge.
You're
so
from you're not from Baton Rouge.
No,
You're
I'm not from Baton Rouge.
Washington.
I'm from Washington, Louisiana,
Not
the
the
town,
parish.
not the parish.
Right.
We are a small town in St. Landry Parish, and I grew up in an ag home, right? So my dad was an ag extension agent. He was like the 4-H leader and all of those things, and eventually worked at LSU Ag Center. And so ag has been a very important part of my life in my formation. I was a 4-H like junkie, right?
Wait,
Thank you,
stop.
Dr. Carell. Like
Wait, stop.
4-H camp was the best.
Did you ever have farm animals?
I did not. No.
Did you ever do a cow competition or any kind of 4-H?
No, my
competitions?
older sister did the animals. I did more of like home ec and like sewing and cooking and those things. I
more
actually
domestic inside the house.
yes, and I actually had a unique experience where they have a high school camp. Right, it's now called 4-H University, but it used to be called Short Course, and you had to compete in a specific area. And I competed in the entomology competition, which is like bugs. Totally not my thing, but when you got a good personality, you can win whatever.
So does
right?
the PhD program in leadership and
ag and extension leadership?
what does extension mean?
So So if you're not familiar with LSU Ag, I'm going to give you all a little Cliff's Notes version.
I was an arts major, man, and then I
Okay.
went to law school.
So LSU Ag, not so different from the LCTCS, has an ag extension office in every parish. And there are agriculture and extension agents at each of these offices. And they help our local farmers, the local crop sharers, the local students develop in leadership programs and work with those who are more rural to get to know the rest of the world.
So, okay, this program, how many years does this program take?
3.
3 years. You have to write a dissertation?
I do.
Dude, Dr. Kleinpeter, that would be kind of...
I know. Do you want to know what I'm
I do want to know what you're going to do.
Do we
Your
have to go to
dissertation.
break or something? No.
Well, we are about to hit break. We got about, what,
Oh.
30 seconds left? Minute?
Okay. So I really want to focus on generational studies and what do we need to do?
We're going to take our first break.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's my fault.
That's all right.
Taylor is speaking radio to me, and I'm not comprehending it. So we're going to wrap up our first segment, but don't go anywhere, Sarah.
I'm not.
We're going to keep talking at the break, and we're going to
Okay.
be right back with our second segment of the Go Rouge Show.
All right.
All right, so we're still
I'll
on.
get it all that
Okay.
So we're still live.
We're
on,
still live. So
Okay.
so what do you want to do your PhD on?
So I'm going to focus on generational studies and the impact of generational differences in the workforce and how leaders can adapt to those generational differences.
So do you want to teach one day?
I mean, possibly, or like consult, which like everybody's consulting these days. But
So being that you work where you work,
correct.
how much flexibility will you have to do your PhD program over 3 years? Are they helping with that? Or I mean, it's
Yes.
not my business, but I mean, I'm more like when I have friends that are doing MBA programs in addition to working full time, I'm like, what does that look like? What is that? Night classes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
The organization I work for, LCTCS, is absolutely fabulous to our employees. Even though we're state employees and can't necessarily get those raises every year, the cost of living increases on our salaries because of budget, we are able to take paid time off to go to school, so many hours per pay period. And
Okay.
so I could take one class at a time during the day, and then the rest would be at night.
awesome.
And we also have a program that helps to pay for our degree
that's
seeking folks.
So when would this start?
In August, I'm terrified.
goodness.
Like, get all the fun out.
Like, okay,
Now.
hold that thought, because when we come back, if you're just tuning in, we're talking to the Sara Kleinpeter.
Stop it.
Landreneau Kleinpeter. Do you use the hyphen or no hyphen?
No hyphen.
Okay. I'm thinking about changing my last name from Borkart to Fay. My wife's last name is Fay, F-A-Y. It's a lot easier. I have to spell Borkart out, by the way, using the B as for boy, O as in orange, R as in red, G as
Yeah.
in George, H as in horse, A as in apple, R as in red, D as in dog, T as in Tom.
Yep.
I got to do that.
That's
Because-
what I do with LCTCS. L is for Larry, C is for cat, T is for Tom, C is for cat, S is for Sam.
The struggle.
LCTCS.
The struggle. All right, we're gonna hop back in. We'll do the 2-minute intro,
Okay.
and then we'll get back to Sara Kleinpeter. If you're listening, dude, who just hasn't checked in? I'm looking for all the hazing, but no pun intended. I'm looking for all the people to troll you, and nobody. It's like people want you to
Nobody's
look good.
trolling me. I love it.
I like it too. All right.
All right.
Right, welcome back to the second segment of the Go Rouge radio show. This is Attorney Franz Borkart. I don't know why I said Attorney Franz Borkart. This is your host, Franz Borkart. If you're listening on Facebook Live, if you're listening on the radio, Talk 107.3, welcome back. It's like I get paid to speak for a living, Taylor. Is that what happens? I hope not. Anyways, this is the Go Rouge radio show, which has nothing to do with the law, nothing to do with criminal justice, nothing to do with my day job. This is all about celebrating people, businesses, folks in Baton Rouge, making Baton Rouge an awesome place. And so, of course, we have Sara Kleinpeter, who, incidentally, I have said from day one of the Go Rouge radio show, it's not a show until I get Sara Kleinpeter on. Haven't I told you? Now, be fair. Haven't I told you that?
You have, and I've declined so many times or
Yes.
been like, don't call me. But
I'm not butthurt or anything.
But
a little bit.
I'm
a
not
little bit.
like. Anyway, you have all these wonderful people from heads of organizations. I'm just a doer, right? So I'm not like.
Well, but those are the people. So I like. Okay, so there's a selfish side of me, right? As you know, selfish,
No,
self-centered,
not at all.
egotistical. So
None.
if you have people like Sara on your radio show, the doers, who everybody universally likes, well, you get more viewers, right? If you have someone like Beverly Brooks Thompson, who
everybody likes.
right, everybody likes.
Hey, Bev.
And shout out to Beverly Brooks Thompson, who's in LA right now for work. She couldn't be here today. I was going to have her and you on the show.
Oh
but-
my
so-
gosh.
I mean, we're not in LA, but it's okay.
It's okay.
So if you have Beverly Brooks Thompson in, yeah, I mean, they're great people, but they don't have you have like you have the DZ following, you have the Leadership Baton Rouge following, the Louisiana leadership following. You've got like a cult like. I mean, I don't want to use that word cult.
Stop it. You're going to make me blush, dude.
Well, you know. So, before we jump back into our second segment with Sara Kleinpeter, we are going to thank our show sponsors. These are the folks, the men and women, the businesses that make the Go Rouge show possible. First, Dr. Gunja Raina. Dr. G with MD VIP Heal 360 Concierge Medical Services. You know what that means?
I do.
My constant need for immediate gratification.
Is there? God bless her.
She texts me. She says, how's the diet going? How's the lifestyle going? Hey, are you doing what I tell you to do? And when I don't, she yells at me. It's great.
Yeah.
But I need that kind of positive reinforcement.
That sounds like my therapist.
It's kind of like a little bit of therapy in there,
I
too.
know.
So, La Divina Italian Cafe, serving select wines, ice cold beer, plus, are you sitting down? Their exclusive sorbet mimosa.
It's so good.
So, as you know, I don't drink anymore, but I
Right.
saw this the other day, and I'm like, this just makes sense to me. And the fact that they do it and others don't do it, giddy up. It's sorbet, Taylor, with a little bit of champagne
A little bit,
inside of it. So
Not mad at it.
no, La Divina Italian Cafe had breakfast. If you were listening to the first segment, I had breakfast there with my son Fisher, who is in the other room, hopefully not setting the studio on fire. His favorite babysitter, Fisher's favorite babysitter, is his Nintendo Switch. And so he and the Switch are just hanging out with each other. La Divina, highly recommend you go by there. We also have the Borchardt Law Firm, one of the finest criminal defense firms in the universe. If you're going to break the law, and I encourage you not to break the law, if you're going to break the law,
Call Franz.
better call Franz. I'm not going to say I'm a fixer. I'm not going to say I
You
can make
are a
problems go
fixer.
wrong. I've helped you out before, but it was like minor stuff. Like, nah, okay, I got to
Speeding,
clarify. Tickets,
speeding.
traffic tickets.
Speeding in a school zone. I'm guilty for it. I changed my route. I hadn't had to call you since.
Which school zone was it? Do you mind me asking?
Our Lady of Mercy.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Ooh.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Is there a speed zone on the Florida side? Because I go up Florida.
No, there's not.
And then I go through the cut through. Now, my kid is now going to be in kindergarten, but he was in pre-K. So my drop-off point is in front of the school for start, but my pickup point in the afternoon for extended was on the side of the school. So, yes. So it was government? You got speeding zone in government?
I did. So now I go down Goodwood.
Yeah, that's
I don't
the
even
deal.
play with government
Dude.
during school hours.
Don't drag race, though. Don't do an acre. Don't drag race.
I have heavy feet.
What kind of car do you drive?
An Armada.
Okay. So it's hard. It's hard for me to envision driving fast in an Armada.
It goes really fast.
Okay, so my little SUV doesn't go fast. My SUV. Oh, we got to talk about my SUV before. Remember the rain? And
I know. I need to know what happened.
Okay, hold that thought. So last sponsor, Sullivan Steakhouse, your neighborhood steak restaurant. We're going to be doing Knockout Tuesdays. Brian just walked into the studio. Brian Haldane.
Hey, Brian.
So we're going to be doing Knockout Tuesdays. I think we're going to have a cocktail making competition this coming week where we have different people coming in to make cocktails, and then we're going to see who makes the best cocktails. If you have not tried their happy hour, I highly recommend Sullivan's Happy Hour. And if you're like me and you don't drink, you can get a Diet Coke, get an unsweet iced tea.
But by people competing, right? Are you going to get like everyday citizens? Are you going to get bartenders? You're going to get...
It's non-service industry folks,
Okay.
lay folk. Okay, so we have Sara Kleinpeter in the house, one of my favorite human beings in the city of Baton Rouge. Sara Kleinpeter's great people. She has her fingers in a lot of different things, whether it's leadership, working on her PhD. Well, we'll be
Not yet.
not yet. Working on a PhD soon, coming to a university soon in leadership, ag, and extension. Right?
Yes,
I got that right.
you did.
Okay. You also work with LCTCS.
Yeah.
Which again stands for
Louisiana Community and Technical College System.
former Delta Zeta.
Yes.
Do you have
No,
party-
not former. I still am a
Do you
Delta
have,
Zeta.
Do you have party mugs still?
Yes.
Okay. You know I have party mugs
Yep.
from socials that I went to. Do you know, and Brian's going to be shocked when I say this, there is a fraternity that will remain nameless that is offering me honorary membership to their fraternity.
That is fantastic.
Should I take it?
Yes.
Like Brian's making a grimace, like I get all the rights and privileges of being in that fraternity.
But you didn't have to go through your
I didn't have to
pledge
do
year
it.
or
I have
do
no
an
pledge
initiation.
pin. But I will be. I asked them, do I get a pledge name? Do I get like a fraternity name? And they're like, yeah, you're like an official member. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm on the fence of whether or not I want to.
That's a big deal. Don't be on the fence. Do it if you
Well,
support the mission of the sorority.
So this, well, I would definitely join a sorority. As you
I mean,
know,
as a
I'm all
fraternity.
about.
I'm sorry, as a
I'm all about
fraternity.
joining institutions where I don't have the anatomical equipment. Hashtag Junior League Baton Rouge. But no, it's not a sorority. It is a fraternity.
I know, I'm
It is a
sorry, I
fraternity.
misspoke. But if you believe with the foundation of that fraternity and you agree with what they stand for, then go ahead and do
I
it.
do. I think this is good. Brian, what are your thoughts? Should a 42-year-old father
So
of
I'm
a
kind of all over the place on this one because
You were in a fraternity, weren't you?
no. The fraternity that I was going to pledge shut down when I was a freshman at LSU. So
Dang,
That's like
that
the
sucks.
story of your life, man.
yeah, pretty much. No, I was not in a fraternity, but I'm all about the old school lifestyle, right?
Oh, right.
Like, buying a house on campus and starting a fraternity.
I don't.
Vince
That's
Vaughn,
the
Luke
wrong.
Wilson.
That's the wrong route. and
Wrong route.
trajectory.
No.
Healthy
no.
Franzi, mentally
No.
stable and emotionally stable Franzi, not like
I'm over
we're
here,
going streaking.
I'm over here in Frank the Tank mode.
Right.
Not,
so the
not
impression,
legitimate purpose.
Well, so none of the Greek organizations on LSU's campus enjoy the Frank the Tank old school atmosphere.
yeah, sure,
anymore.
we're good.
Yeah.
They don't do it anymore.
Well, they get
No, totally.
They
I
get
hear
booted. They
you.
get booted.
Wink's as good as a nod to
well,
a
there was a
blind man, right?
fraternity. They got reinstated yesterday.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Maybe
they're
talk
on a
about next week.
two-year suspension, right?
No,
Oh.
no penalty. Reinstated. Full rights and privileges.
So if we're broadening this conversation out, and I really don't want to burst anyone's bubble here, but acquiring a criminal defense attorney as an honorary member seems like a smart move in the current
well, they'd
climate.
still have to retain me. I mean, it's not like I would give free legal services.
Even,
Sarah
even,
gets free
even
legal
for your
services.
lifelong brothers. Even for your
What
lifelong
have you
They're
brothers.
not
done?
lifelong because he hasn't been there forever.
Yeah, what have you done for me
Lifelong
lately?
starting now, Sarah. Let's
Who
not-
loves me back,
Look, Brian,
right?
what's important is if little James ever runs afoul of the law, and it would, let's be honest, out of your kids, it'd probably be little James.
Well, no, hang on. Let's be very clear. If it's any of my kids, it's going to be Abby, but she's not going to get caught. James will get caught.
Right, James is a sensitive soul that would get caught. You better believe I'm going to step up with the Haldane discount.
I appreciate that.
It won't be free, but it'll be a Haldane discount. There may be some Christie cooking involved. There may be some bartering involved. Does Christie cook? I don't know. Anyways, he's very careful. See, his wife. He's very careful.
I mean, I was about to get weird.
Like Foodie Friday.
No, yeah.
Speaking of which, I don't want to tell. Speaking of
What?
which, Brian Haldane and I have a weight loss competition.
I'm aware.
And I went to get. You'll notice my suit that I'm wearing right now is a little loose.
Mm-hmm.
I went to get some suits refitted because I'm supporting the Best Dressed Ball in
Yeah.
August. I had to get an outfit for Best Dressed Ball.
You do.
Which is so over the top, so extra, but so Franz. It is so over the top, so extra, so it's not a tux, it's a dinner jacket. Anyways, I was there.
Who did it?
White.
Martinez clothier.
Very nice.
It's not white, but when you see it, you'll see it.
If you're not white- if you don't have a white
I
jacket,
own
you're
a
not
white
Bond.
Haspel suit right now,
If
brother.
you don't have a white jacket, you're not
So
Bond.
listen,
But if you're
the
not
point-
Bond, you're not cool.
The point is, I was noticing because he was noticing the amount of size I've lost, and then he asked me, "What's your weight loss?" And then we talked about it, and then I went home and weighed myself, and I don't want to. I'm pretty sure if we do a weigh-in next week, I might have this thing in the bag.
We'll do a weigh-in next week.
I'm gonna have to
about it.
starve myself for a couple of days to just get all the. Actually, I don't think that you lose weight by starving. I think you extend.
Well, it depends on how long you starve yourself for.
This, by the way, for the record, we at Talk 107.3 Guarantee Studios, we do not support eating disorders such as starving oneself. I do support intermittent fasting. As
You're
I am
starving yourself. Just in a very
no,
short
you
interval.
you eat over 6 hours, but or
Right,
8
and then you
hours.
starve yourself for 18.
It's not an eating disorder.
Okay.
I can quit at any time, Brian. Mm-hmm. So point is, we
Says-
have done this. We have done, says the alcoholic in the room.
Uh-huh.
We have done this competition in a healthy manner. You've been using
Go Slim Nutrition.
Go
Just
Slim.
got back from there a minute ago.
I've been using Dr. G. We've both been using Patrick Fellows and
Fresh Junkie Salad.
Fresh Junkies. Varsity Sports has been supporting us. True Blue Water gave us some water at some point.
Did they?
I felt like they did.
I demand more of Jason Cheek and his outfit at True Blue. We
I need to
more.
talk about your running too. That's
We're going to talk about it. So in our second segment, by the way, we
Which is half over, by the way.
we have Sarah Kleinpeter.
Yeah,
It's okay.
hi, welcome. You're the
Hey.
guest.
Yeah, she's the guest. Well, Sarah's like family. Sarah's like, you ever have a friend in your life? Hold on. You ever have a friend in your life that is that maternal sister role to where she can tell you things that nobody else can tell you, like, hey, you're full of BS, Franz, and you need to do X, Y, and Z, and you don't take it personally. It's kind of like the sister mother I never had. God, Francis, I love you, my mother, but it's like the sister mother I don't have any sisters. That's Sarah Kleinpeter's role in my life.
Absolutely.
So when the poop hits the fan in my life, I call Sarah.
he does.
Yeah, and sometimes that translates into comfort food like good soup, Right.
I know that was like a year ago. I made you that good soup.
Right, right. Good soup. Sometimes that comes with a good emotional butt kicking, like, hey, dude, don't do what you're about to do. All sorts of things. So Sarah Kleinpeter's in the studio. So you want to talk running? So
Okay, yeah.
hardest things about me and getting into running. Are you ready? Besides the fact that I'm massively big and I don't run well, I have to force myself to rest every couple of days.
Yeah.
I thought running was about running every single day. No. 2 to 3 times a week, actually. The other days you can walk, but every once in a while you just have to, and by walk, 6 miles, no big deal. Every once in a while you have to rest because you have to let your muscles heal. And so like when you're...
And hydrate, rest, and hydrate.
Hydrate's a big thing. But here's the irony. When you start getting the endorphins off of working out and exercising, you start getting those endorphins, you start feeling better, you start looking better, all these good things happening, you don't want to not exercise.
Right.
Like, because you like that feeling. You like the chemical release that requires no money, nothing other than just you moving your butt. So that's the hardest thing right now is, and I also don't want to injure myself. I'm no spring chicken, speaking of agricultural terminology. I'm no spring chicken. We talked about ag culture in the first segment. Sorry, Brian, you were doing other things.
Yes.
So I'm no spring chicken, so I don't want to hurt myself. So stretching is important. Stretching is very important.
It is.
And then a few of my buddies and I are running a 5K in August called Get Your Rear in Gear
Okay.
to help support colon cancer.
Colorectal
That's
cancer
what I was going to
awareness,
ask
yes.
you is what were you training for?
So colon cancer, I will be promoting as we approach August. I'm, of course, raising money. As you know, I occasionally raise money for things. But I'm now looking for any and all 5Ks out there. Turkey Trots, you got it. I'm going to run it. I'm going to regret saying this. I'm not interested in running a marathon.
Okay.
That's a lot.
So what about a half?
You might get me to run a half, but a marathon is way a lot, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Run a 5K first. I mean, like
Yeah, like,
half
why don't we
marathon
get
sounds
past
great,
that?
But like after a 5K, you could double it and do a 10K.
Well,
after a 10K, you could double it and then get to a half.
So the
You gotta
beauty of
walk
a
before you crawl.
5K. So here's the thing: the beauty of a 5K is there are several days during the week where I walk more than 3 miles.
Right.
So I know I can do it, not necessarily run a full 5K, but I know that I can complete start to finish a 5K in less than an hour. I know that I can jog and walk a 5K. I know that I will get through it.
Yeah.
So yes, you're right. Get done with the 5K.
Yeah.
But I'm not. That's gonna happen. I'm not. Like it's like as certain as me kicking Brian's butt in the Fat Boy 50 competition. It is going to. The sun's coming up. I'm kicking Brian's butt like he owes me money. I'm running a 5K. Those things are.
So where
certainty.
is this August 5K? Because goodness, August sounds hot to run a 5K.
Well, I've already been. So that's another fun thing about losing massive amounts of weight. You ready for this one? You sitting down. Your metabolism constantly running on full drive,
Right.
and then losing massive quantities of mass. Guess what happens? You're always cold. I am always freezing cold now. Used to be if I sat in this studio, whether it was with Brian or back in the day when I was at my heaviest with Bill and Kevin, I would be sweating bullets
I
sitting
am
in here.
hot in here. You're not hot in
No,
here.
I'm freezing cold in here. It is cold in here. That being said, like in spaces now, I am the cold guy. You remember, there's always that cold person. Maybe you're
Yeah.
that cold person. Maybe you're that cold
I'm
person.
not the cold person.
Yeah, there's always that cold person where you're like, shut up, man. It's not that cold. Now I'm the cold person. I'm the person that's like, man, I wish we brought my jacket. And it's like 70, it's like 75 degrees inside. Running, now I get hot. I can definitely know when I don't drink enough water. Not drinking enough water. I don't know how you hydrate, but I have to drink before I do stuff, and then I have to drink during and after. The problem with drinking water during on a long run walk is there's the bathroom component. Can we talk about that? Now, are you a runner?
Okay, so I run, but I'm not a runner.
Okay. So you have to be strategic about your bathrooms.
You do. And so I did the Louisiana half marathon, not
my.
this year, but the year before.
Okay.
And that was my biggest worry was like, where am I going to stop and go to the bathroom?
So long
And it's
distance.
hella cold on that run.
So long distance runners, I hear, will sometimes urinate on themselves.
Will not happen for me.
Right. There's portalets on the route, right? Taylor's laughing right now. What's wrong, Taylor? Were you a track runner? Okay.
What was your
They have a bad habit of talking to people off mic. Get over here.
I was 200, 400.
So
I was a sprinter.
okay.
Yeah, that's sprint work we're talking about,
So
yeah.
here's the thing. Do you still run?
No.
All right. So at 42 years old, you use the bathroom more frequently than you did in your teens, in your 20s.
Let's talk first person here, because at 44, I'm fine.
You don't use the bathroom a
I'm
lot?
40 and
How
I'm
much
good.
water are you drinking every day?
About a gallon. It's sitting right
So
over
I drink
there.
64 ounces of water plus coffee plus unsweet iced tea plus my
I
my
would
smoothie.
say a gallon, but it's definitely over 100
Yeah.
ounces.
Okay.
So
I use the bathroom a lot, and to stay hydrated, the way I enjoy being hydrated, I drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
And so what I have to do is strategically plot courses that either land at City Park tennis court bathroom, or Highland Coffee, or Garden District Coffee, someplace I can gently run into, use the bathroom, and then come out of. Breck Parks are good.
But wait, time out. You're doing a walk that's like an hour, a walk run that's like an hour.
So a 6 mile walk takes me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to do.
And you can't.
I cannot hold it that long.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Mildred, is that the word we're looking for?
I'm just being honest.
What the
Am I
heck?
the only problem? It's just me? It sounds like it's just me.
It might be.
Yeah. So
Of in this room. Others
this-
might be out there supporting you, but I mean, you can't go
So
like
then
it's
some
what
of
I tell Graham, you can't get through mass without going to the bathroom.
some of my
right?
running
Like,
friends, what they'll do is they'll pee behind bushes. I'm not that guy. I don't want to pee behind a bush. It's illegal. Public urination is a crime. I don't want to get
Ish.
Ish.
What do you mean ish?
You find me an officer who is going to actually enforce that
Well, yeah,
crime.
the problem is not getting charged with public urination while sober. The problem is someone's going to accuse you of quote unquote whipping it out.
Well,
and
it's the
exposing
indecent
yourself.
exposure. That's the
Yeah.
problem. So as long as you're
No one's
discreet,
going to look at my
as long
equipment.
as you're discreet and not indiscreet.
Yeah, no one's going to look at my equipment and then
In
all
the
of a
middle
sudden
of
be
discreet.
like, yeah.
Right.
Didn't we talk about that case once where
think so.
the juveniles and they took the clothes off
Yes.
poor juveniles
Yeah.
in the middle of the street, broad daylight, BRPD.
It's the best way to teach your little boy how to pee, though. Like, I mean,
Fisher.
pull over on the side of the
Okay,
road.
my son's in
fire
the other
hose.
room. So my son gets home the other day. I'm taking the dog out in the front yard, and my son's like, I really need to use the bathroom. And I'm like, well, go inside and use the bathroom. He goes, no, I want to pee outside. It's in the front yard. And I go, dude, you can't urinate in the front yard. He's 5.
Yes,
Can't-
he can. He's
He went
5.
behind the recycling bin and just handled up on business. And I'm listening to him in the corner being like, and I'm like, is this happening? Cars are driving back. I live in Mid-City. Cars are driving by. And he's like, thanks, Daddy. Do you let yours urinate outside?
Absolutely.
100%.
Really?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Front yard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Side of the road. We pulled over on the side of I-10 before.
It
How
happened.
did this show get derailed?
I'm not real sure. Was the first segment good? Because I didn't walk into
The
the second
first segment was
we were
excellent.
talking about running.
Yeah, so
So
how
let's
much
go back
time-
to running.
How much time do we have, Brian?
2 minutes.
We have 2 minutes left. So here's the deal.
Yeah.
I find that from a therapeutic standpoint, this is something that Taylor and you can contribute to as well as you. I do find that when it's a longer distance walk or run, the noise that's in my brain. So like I am the constant, like things are constantly, I got to do this, got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
This is going on. Oh my God, how am I going to get through this? By mile 3 or 4, running or walking, that volume is way toned down. Dare I say it's even slightly spiritual. I generally, what's that eye roll about? You don't have spiritual experiences? You're a religious guy. You don't have spiritual experiences?
I have spiritual experiences through religion, not through running.
Well, you don't
knee pain through
you don't
running.
you don't leave room for the possibility that when
But you don't.
you
I
can
mean,
commune with your higher power
You
while
can.
The only way that running is any way, shape, or form religious, it is my cross to bear. That is it. There is no nirvana.
I didn't say nirvana. I find that my ability to meditate, pray, commune with higher spiritual forces, I call them God, happens on mile 4 through 6 more than it does through me sitting my butt on a chair. That's all I'm saying. It's the noise that you've hung out with me, man. You cannot be this intelligent, this quick on your feet without having a lot of noise going on in this brain. There's a lot of spiritual disruption going on in this brain.
I would agree to the first part, right?
Yes,
like,
right.
That definitely while I'm running, I'm more like, dear Lord, let me finish, because it's not fun for me. But
Right.
you're pretty fast. I'm like turtle speed, you know.
I'm pretty slow, actually. So the friction
I'm
component
like
also
a
is a little.
12-minute mile. You're like a 9-minute mile.
No, it's closer on a good run. If I can,
We said 6 miles in an hour and a half. It'd be about a 15.
Well, that's if I'm walking.
That's
If
walking.
if I'm jogging at a slower pace, I can do maybe 10 or 11 minute mile, which is not terrible, but it's not great. Sustainability is my issue. So like I get to the point where I'm just like I sound like Darth Vader in the voice machine. So we got about 1 minute left.
Okay.
Second segment with Sarah. We just been talking about me. Ha! Shocker.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
Sarah, what's going on? 1 minute left. What's coming up? Anything coming up that we need to talk about?
Well, Anna's Grace Foundation, our
That's
event
what I
is
was
coming
looking
up
for.
at the end of July, and so I'm excited to MC that event again.
You're emceeing it?
I'm the MC. I've been the
Wow.
MC. It's the Sweet Summer Night, and it's July 31st.
Awesome.
And that will be at, oh gosh, I forget the name of the hotel.
It's okay. We'll have you back on.
Yeah.
We'll have you back on, or we'll have the Anna Grace folks on before
Okay,
then to
yeah.
help promote it.
So
And
that's
then-
what's immediately coming up.
And then we're going to continue to watch the Will Franz join a fraternity or not join a fraternity. Will Franz start his own fraternity in Mid-City. Brian wants to pledge. so
Franz
bad.
the Tank.
Franz
Franz the
wants to-
Tank.
Look, Brian wants to pledge so bad. You've been listening to the Geaux Rouge radio show. We've had special guests, Sara Kleinpeter on. Taylor and Brian have joined us. We will be back next week, maybe, if Guarantee lets me come back. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Geaux Rouge show. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Say bye-bye to Facebook.
Bye, Facebook.
Bye-bye. Sorry. I get excited.